Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Sports Map Radio Network. My name is Jeff Malinoff, as always, and I'm joined by the lovely Camille Schrier, who is Miss America 2020. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me on today.
Yeah, of course. It's always great to have you, and we're getting closer to the Super Bowl, but the Super Bowl isn't actually one of the main things we're going to go on about right now, because you're actually doing something during the Super Bowl that's actually helping a lot of people. Want to get into detail on that?
Yeah, so I'm really passionate about drug safety and abuse prevention and destigmatizing substance use disorders for those who face them in their lives. And so I have a great opportunity to go to a sober tailgate party hosted by Sober AF Entertainment, which really is focused upon creating safe spaces for people in recovery, substance-free spaces where if you have faced a substance use disorder and you choose a substance-free lifestyle, or maybe you're just a person who is not interested in consuming substances and doesn't want to be in a situation where those are present, that an event like this can allow people to have a lot of fun in an event or a situation where alcohol or substances might be a priority, like a tailgate for the Super Bowl. And so I think that it's such a creative idea. It's a great way to talk about substance use disorders and destigmatize this. So I'm really excited to be able to be in Tampa to celebrate the Super Bowl in a way that is safe and healthy for everybody.
And I love that personally. Like, I'm not a big drinker myself. I have a family history of alcoholism, so I've never been a big drinker per se. So I love that there's also an alternative to not that drinking and getting kind of crazy during the Super Bowl. So I can always attest to that kind of situation. And like you were saying for substance abuse, you also have your Mind Your Meds social initiative. And I honestly had a very close family member of mine. I won't mention who they are, but they had a big problem with substance abuse. They had a botched surgery, and doctors gave him just a lot of medication, and he got addicted to it. And it kind of really changed who he was, and it really affected everyone around him. But fortunately, he did get the help he needed, and he is now a whole new person. He's who he was before. And honestly, with your Mind Your Meds initiative, I can fully support that and know that everyone around that area has been affected by it, and fortunately people are still getting the help they need. You want to elaborate on your social initiative?
Absolutely. And that story of that friend or family member that went through substance use disorder after a surgery is a really, really common story that we see happen. And there's this perception in our society that people who struggle with drugs, especially even illicit drugs, that they just, they made a really bad choice. They continue to make a really bad choice. Well, sometimes that stems from a doctor's prescription. And it's interesting because that is something that we don't stigmatize as much. Okay, you take a medicine from a doctor, no one's going to judge you for that. But if you get physically and psychologically addicted to that substance, and then you transition into maybe an illicit substance to continue to scratch that itch after you no longer are taking that prescription, that is something that's a common occurrence, and again is not a moral failing. And that's something that I think is important to talk about. And I started this because I'm a doctor of pharmacy student, so I'm going to be a pharmacist, and potentially could either work for a company that is producing these medications, or could be in a pharmacy setting providing these substances to patients. And I think it's really important that we talk about the risks that are associated with this. And, pharmacists are educators about medicines to their patients. And it's so important that patients are empowered with information about what they're taking, because maybe that person who got prescribed that pain medicine, if they had had more information, could have prevented some of that negative outcome. And that's something that I hope to be able to change. I also get to talk with students, both, of all ages, high school, college, elementary, about the dangers of substance use and alcohol use. And it's really just an awesome opportunity to be able to talk about this on a national stage. And being Miss America 2020 has given me an extraordinary opportunity to be able to talk about these issues in a way that I wouldn't have been able to do as just a pharmacy student sitting in a classroom. So there's so much that we need to do. And, we lose potentially almost 200 people every day right now through COVID to just an opioid overdose. That's just opioids. And that's appalling, and something that if I can make any impact in and save even one of those lives, or prevent someone from losing their life to a substance, then I feel like that's worth everything that I get to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was watching back your Miss America pageant, and what you were going for, like your goal was just like, hey, science and your idea of pharmaceutical and your ideas for prescription. But you like that was your main point. I think that really took you to like why you won, because you had such an impactful message to people, and people can and think everyone in the world can relate to that, unfortunately. So it was really powerful what you were saying. And also just like having that ability, like especially for a time like the Super Bowl where a lot of that stuff is going on, like we're more than people really want to figure out, but you're doing something that's truly great, and I really admire you for that.
Thank you. It's,
Yeah.
I think, difficult in situations like the Super Bowl where you think of a tailgate and it's oftentimes so alcohol based, because that's the norm. That's what we've normalized in the culture of tailgating and sports. And for someone even like you that has a history of alcoholism in your family and maybe wants to make a different choice to prevent yourself from getting in that situation, or frankly, if you're just a person that's not interested in consuming alcohol, sometimes you feel like an outsider in situations that are alcohol based because that's just become what we expect.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not necessarily fair to people, because it's a fine choice to not choose to consume alcohol. And it's just so, I'll use the word sobering, to see that people are able to create spaces that are fun and alcohol free, because I think that oftentimes people assume that alcohol free spaces are, oh, that's the boring place to be, like that's not very exciting. We want to go where the real party is. Well, we can create those spaces. And so that's why I'm just really thrilled to be able to work with Sober AF Entertainment. And they even put on electronic dance music festivals, which are, again, something that is inherently associated with drug use. And they put on sober music festivals, which is just so cool. I love the concept. I think it's really needed.
Yeah, absolutely. And like for me, when I go to tailgate, I just eat a lot. Like there's so much good food. That's like so much. That's what I look forward to a tailgate, is all the food people make, because they go crazy with the food. And that's what I do myself. And so you're doing it for the Super Bowl. Will the game be played as you guys are you guys going to do the tailgate and continue it throughout the game?
I think so. The actual party starts at 3 p.m. Eastern time and leads up to kickoff, but I assume that we'll probably be there celebrating the game as well as it begins. And it's just going to be such a cool way to ring in the Super Bowl. And it will also be something that's streamed virtually for people that cannot come, because of course we're in the middle of COVID. And so the in-person attendance is not going to be what we would normally expect for a Super Bowl party, but people around the country will be able to tune in virtually from the Sober AF Entertainment website, and you can find a link to a live stream of the event on Sunday. And so everyone will be able to.
Where can people find the link?
It's on Sober AF Entertainment's website. If you click into the actual event on their website, which is the Safe Bowl is the title of our tailgate, you'll be able to find a live stream link right there to watch the event.
All right. So remember that. Check Safe AF Entertainment, check their website, Google it, and check out. I mean, you can be a part of it. Absolutely.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to be able to be there. And, you know, I'm located in the Northeast, so I'm excited to be able to go to Tampa for a few days as well. And just a huge bonus, because this is such a wonderful cause. And I think that's something that's really needed for so many people who maybe silently face the stigma of recovery, or who are silently battling problems with substances, that these type of tailgate events can really be inclusive to everyone and give them the opportunity to have a lot of fun and not worry about substances being around them.
Absolutely. And well, one of the more important questions, who do you have going for the Super Bowl?
Well, this is hard. I, of course, am Philadelphia based, and so I'm an Eagles fan when they're doing well. But I'm kind of rooting for the hometown team. I think it's really cool that, you know, Tampa Bay is having the Super Bowl and that their hometown team happens to be in it this year. What a cool thing to have happen. I don't
First
have any.
it's ever happened.
I know. And so I think that's kind of cool. I kind of want them to go all the way just to say that they did.
Yeah.
And I think that one of the coaches on the Tampa Bay team also has a connection to my university. So I'm a Virginia Tech alumni, and hey, Gotta root for the Hokies if I can, even though they're not even eligible for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you so much for joining us, Camille. You have been absolutely a delight. Remember to check out, you want to plug it one more time?
Absolutely. Go to the Sober AF Entertainment website, click on the Save Bowl event, and you'll be able to find the live stream link so you can tune in and watch our Sober Tailgate. There will actually be some speakers and presenters, and so I'll be one of them. You'll be able to check out and see all the fun that we're having in Tampa.
Awesome. And also check out Mind Your Meds, her social initiative for fighting prescription abuse drugs and other things like that. Thank you so much again, Camille. You have been absolutely a delight.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for having me, Jeff.
Thank you. All right, that was it. Thank you
Perfect.
so much. It was awesome. Let me just